customer bought me a coffee I hadn't ordered. What I found inside made me quit that very night. I worked the night shift at an Oxxo convenience store in a mid-sized city. Nothing unusual, ever, until a week ago. It was 2:45 a.m. The store was empty. I was cleaning the coffee machine because it had been about 2 hours without any customers. An older man came in wearing a black cap and a very worn denim jacket. He didn't greet me, didn't even look at me. He went straight to the machine, poured a black Americano without sugar, and stood in front of the counter. He put in a 200 peso bill. He didn't ask for change. He just said, "The coffee's for you. Drink it before it gets cold." And he left. I couldn't see his face clearly because he had his visor pulled down. The door closed and I was left holding the coffee. I hadn't ordered any coffee. I don't drink black coffee. But something made me open it. I shone my phone's flashlight inside and saw something white at the bottom. It was a passport-sized photo, my face. But wearing clothes I don't own, against a gray background I don't recognize, and with a date written on the back in blue pen. The date was August 15th of next year. That day hasn't come. I never gave the man my name. I never told him what I looked like out of uniform. But there was my face, with a smile I've never worn. The next day I checked the security camera footage. There was no man in the recording, just me pouring myself a coffee, paying with my own money, and at the cup as if I were seeing something. In the video, my mouth was moving. I was talking to myself, but I don't remember saying anything. I didn't sleep that night. The next day I went to work anyway because I need the money. When I got there, my co-worker from the afternoon shift told me that a man in a cap had been asking for me. He said he was going to drop you off another coffee, he said. I checked the machine. There was a cup on the waiting tray. My name was written on the plastic with a black marker. I didn't take it. I poured it down the drain. At the bottom of the cup was another photo. This time it was my room, my unmade bed. The photo was taken from above, as if someone had been standing on top of my closet while I slept. In the bottom right corner, there was a hand, an old hand, gripping the door. I quit that same night, but the coffee kept arriving at my house. For 3 days straight at 3:33 a.m., someone knocked on the door. I opened it, and there was a cup of black coffee on the floor, always with a photo inside. The last photo was of my mom in her bedroom, asleep. On the back it said, "The next coffee is for her." I went back to Oxxo that night. I stood in front of the coffee machine from 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock a.m. Nothing happened. No man arrived. No cup appeared. I thought it was over. But when I got home that morning, there was a cup on my nightstand. It was still steaming. There was no photo inside. There was a key, an old key, one of those security keys they use at Oxxo's for the employee bathroom. I don't know who put it there. I only know that today, when I went to return my uniform, the employee bathroom was locked with a new padlock. The manager said the key had been lost years ago. I went to an Oxxo for some Cheetos, and the cashier told me I'd already paid 3 times. I didn't remember any of it. It happened 4 days ago, and I still can't sleep well. I left a party around 2 a.m. I wasn't drunk, just a little tired. I went into the Oxxo on the corner of my street, the same one I've been going to for as long as I can remember. I grabbed some green Cheetos, a 600 milliliter bottle of Coke, and some sour gummies, the usual. I went to the counter. The cashier was a new girl, about 20 years old, with her hair pulled back. I hadn't seen her before. She scanned my items and said, 97 pesos. I took out my card and put it in the terminal. The terminal made its usual noise and then displayed error. I tried again. Error. A third time. Error. The cashier gave me a really strange look. She sighed and said, "That's the 4th time you've tried to pay with that card in the last 20 minutes. The previous 3 times also failed. Don't you remember?" My mind went blank. I told her I'd just arrived, that it was my first time in the store all night. She shook her head and pointed to the convex mirror they have on the ceiling to monitor the aisles. "Look," she said. I looked up. In the mirror, I saw myself standing with my groceries. Everything seemed normal. But behind me, pressed against my back, like a second layer of clothing, was another person. Same height, same hair, same clothes, even the same salsa stain on my white t-shirt. The person behind me was smiling. I wasn't smiling. I couldn't even breathe. I ran out. I left the items on the counter. I got home around 2:40 a.m., went into my room, locked the door, and lay down. I couldn't sleep all night. Around 7 a.m., I went downstairs to the kitchen for some water and found the Cheetos, the Coke, and the gummy bears on the table, all bought. The Oxxo bag was crumpled to one side. I checked my wallet. I had 3 charges of 97 pesos each. At 1:10 a.m., 1:15 a.m., and 1:20 a.m., half an hour before I got home, according to my memory. The receipt was inside the bag. It said, "Thank you for your purchase," as usual. But underneath, handwritten in blue pen, someone had written, "The 4th one's at your house, the 5th one's in your bed." I asked my neighbors if they saw anyone enter my house. Nobody saw anything. I checked the lock. It wasn't forced. I changed the locks the next day. Yesterday I went back to Oxxo. The new cashier wasn't there anymore. I asked the manager about her. He told me that nobody by that name works there. He showed me the staff photos. None of them were her. But on the office wall, in an old photo of the store from 10 years ago, I saw a cashier who looked exactly like her. Same face, same haircut. The manager told me that photo was from 2014, that the cashier's name was Daniela, and that she disappeared one night without a trace. The only thing they found was a receipt on the floor. It said, Cheetos, Coke, gummy bears, paid with souvenirs. Last night I woke up at 3:33 a.m. to the sound of a payment terminal. I saw a blue light under my door. Someone was swiping my card on the other side. Once, twice, 3 times. This morning I checked my balance. I have a new charge of 97 pesos. Time, 3:33 a.m. Location, the Oxxo on my corner. The same purchase. 4 times now. My name is Carlos. I worked at an Oxxo until 2 weeks ago. This is what happened. It was Sunday, 3:20 a.m. The store was empty. I was alone arranging the chips on the back shelf when I heard the bell from the entrance. A young man wearing a gray sweatshirt and white sneakers approached me with a normal smile. "Hey," he said, "where do you keep the liter bottles of water?" I led him to the soda aisle, the 3rd aisle, and pointed to the bottles. He thanked me. I turned to go back to the counter. I walked for about 5 seconds and realized I couldn't hear his footsteps. I turned around. The aisle was completely empty. There was no one there. But on the floor, right where the man had been standing, was a water bottle. It wasn't one of the ones we sell. The label was blue, with writing in another language. Inside the bottle floated a piece of paper folded into a triangle. I uncorked it. I took out the paper. It said, in perfect print, "Don't turn around again." And I, like an idiot, turned around again. There was no one there. But the light in the Oxxo seemed dimmer. My shadow on the floor looked much darker, too dark, and it wasn't where it should have been. I was standing in front of the bottle aisle, but my shadow was projected onto the back wall, as if the light were coming from 2 different places at the same time. It raised a hand. I hadn't raised a hand. The shadow stayed like that for a few seconds, with its hand raised, and then slowly lowered its arm. As if it were rehearsing a move I would make later. I couldn't sleep that night. The next day I went to the store to check the security cameras. In the recording, you can see the man coming in, walking down the aisle, and then he disappears. One frame is there, the next it's gone. But the worst part was watching myself afterward, because in the video, after the man leaves, I stand in the aisle for about 10 minutes, motionless, staring at the floor. Then slowly I start to laugh, a laugh that isn't mine. My lips don't move in the recording, but the camera's audio captured the laugh perfectly. It was a high-pitched laugh, like someone much older. I'd never laughed like that in my life. I don't know if that was me. I quit that week. I thought that just not going back to Oxxo would be enough. But my shadow kept doing strange things. When I enter a room, it takes a few seconds to appear. When I leave a bathroom, it stays pressed against the wall for a moment before following me. Last night I was brushing my teeth in front of the mirror. My reflection looked at me normally, but my shadow on the floor, behind me, was looking in another direction. It was looking toward the bathroom door. It was smiling. I wasn't smiling. I touched the mirror. In the reflection, my hand touched the glass. But in the shadow, the hand made a different movement. It said goodbye.